I'm going to be among my people, other Holocaust survivors. They are older than me. But every one of them who come and greet me says, we feel sorry for you because you have to keeping this legacy. You have to carry on this legacy of Holocaust. Because you have to speak, you have to relive it. And I don't want to relive it. But I have to because I'm obedient to this Yeshua. Just like he himself. Imagine him when he was beaten, tortured, unwanted, and hated. Even today we hate him. Today every people hate him. But put yourself on that cross for a moment. Like he was beaten, spit on. Would you say something like this? Abba, Abba, forgive them because they not know what they're doing. I don't think not even one of us here would say those words. You would say, take me down. I don't want to know those people. They hate me. They put me on that cross. But no, he has to do this. Because when he walked on this earth, he said he was teaching us about forgiveness. And however you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him. That your Father in heaven might also forgive you trespass. But, that's the biggest word. But if you do not forgive, neither will the Father in heaven forgive you trespass. Oh, but we have Yeshua, Jesus. But he's the one who's saying it. The one you call Jesus, the one who I call Yeshua, he's the one who's saying that. But if you do not forgive, neither will the Father in heaven forgive you trespass. Do you know how important that is? You're going to have to search your soul when you stand before him. I try bringing you so that you can be able to forgive, so that you can have a better life, so that you can change your life. It's time still when the Yeshua is coming. I'm like you, I had a mother, she was 3 months pregnant with me. Imagine a young Jewish woman pregnant with a child, now she's going to be put in a death camp. Her sentence is death. What went through her mind? Did she cry out to Yeshua? Did she know him? Hope for hope. She said, I hope my child and I will survive somehow. She probably crying out day and night. But what they took her for experimentation place. Stutthof. Most of you never heard the Stutthof camp. Lays in the Baltic Sea. Become a massive camp. Stutthof was known as the soap factory. They made soap out of human body. And they bathed themselves in it. Himmler visited Stutthof regularly. Just before he left with his army. Kill as many as possible. And put them through pain like they never have before. So the commander, Max Pauli, said, I will do so. So he gathered his commanders and he says, I will and you will kill as many and do as much pain. And they say, yes, we will. Name some of the death camps for me. Come on, speak out. Auschwitz, Dachau, Treblinka, Buchenwald, Beckenwelsen, ook wat else? Okay, how about 1,600 death camps? Ah, yes, every single place I go. Oh, those are what you see, that's the only major camp. That's not the small ones. All total, 1,600. That's not including Russia. That's not including Africa, mass killing. That's only in Europe. That's a lot of death camps. Who went to the death camps? The Jews? I'm a Jew. How about the Poles, the Russian, the Czech, the Bulgarian, Yugoslavian, Romanian, and so forth and so forth. We have to honor every single Holocaust survivor who went through it. Because we forgot. Yes, we talk about the 6 million Jews and the millions of children. No, how about it? All nationalities who went through it? How about the liberators that we forgot? Look how many thousands and thousands of American soldiers laid their life. We have to honor them. How about the Russians? How about the British, the French, the Poles who died? They willingly died for us to be set the Holocaust free. Imagine when the first soldier entered to those death camps, what they saw through their eyes. Some of the soldiers, they cannot speak about it. They go in a corner and they cry. And they were liberated. They'd not even been in those death camps. How about American families being in the death camps? Nobody ever speaks about. Even the Muslims were in the death camps. That's what God called me for this season, for this time, so I can speak with the Muslims and tell them they were as well in the death camps. Show me the proof. Go on to Google, find out yourself. We have to honor every single soul. How old you have to be in a death camp? Look at those two. Those could be your grandparents. Only thing separates you from them is the yellow Star of David. But the question is, would you be able to forgive? That's what it's all about, forgiveness. How young you have to be. Look at this boy laying on a table. They give him a tattoo. They will cut his skull. They will fill him with drugs. They experiment on him. Hope for hope that he survived for this time, for this season, so that he can give his testimony. And they came by the millions. You have no clue what million people is. How about 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 7, 20 million people vanishing in that particular war? 20 million people vanish. And yet we today forgot that Holocaust happened. And those Holocaust survivors who are standing before you or who are walking, nobody ever remembers them. We are the forgotten people. Imagine standing on those boxcars, week, month at a time. What do you think? They stopped for a glass of water. What do you think? They went to the bathroom. They went all over themselves. Imagine the smell, the disease took over quickly. Would you be able to forgive? They put them in places like this to live. 3 or 4 women, no heat, no water. You got 1 bowl of soup a day. And that's it, and you work all day. And more came with the children. Children once instantly put to death. Reason I survived, because every anniversary of that camp, they saved the child for experimentation. I'm one of them. Would you be able to forgive? And more came. The cripple once instantly was put to death. Instantly. As soon as they grab him, took guns and they shoot him. They give people tattoos. Today, when I'm speaking in schools and colleges, universities, they ask me, whether they give him an arm tattoo? No, you never got yourself educated. They give him on the chest. They give him in the arms, big ones. They give him on his stomach. Depends which camp you came from. Like this poor guy. Depends which camp you came from. There were different numbers. Look at the children showing the little tiny tattoos on the arms just before they went to death. They grabbed women, they cut their hairs and weaved blankets for those women. And then they took a gasoline, benzene, and they set them on fire. Would you be able to forgive? Did you ever smell the smell of human burn? Did you ever hear the scream? It's not something you will forget. That's the result of those women burned. And then they start experiment on us. Look at that experimentation. Look at that woman. She's not only a human skeleton, but then they took rods and put it through the arms. See how much pain she can endure. Children, experimentation on twins. How many of you have been hungry? I want to see those arms. How long you been hungry? Day, 2, 3 months maybe? Look at what starvation really does. Look what hunger really is. Look at that poor guy. He can't even walk. He's starved. Not only that, he's beaten and tortured. Would you be able to forgive? This is the questions we have to ask. Cutting human heads and shrinking to small size. In the Baltic Sea, the temperature drops 50 below zero. It's really, really cold. They made those women stand. They put water on their feet. As soon as their feet were frozen to the metal, SS officer came and started pushing one after the other. Imagine the pain, the suffering of those women when they go backwards and toes are separated from the flesh. Would you be able to forgive? Women entering those death camps, they pulled the babies out, took a pistol, started shooting target practice. Today we have abortions everywhere. We're killing them. The Nazis in Vinda, they pulled those babies out of the mother's womb, hit it over the head, and threw right in the ovens. Imagine survive for this season, for this time, being experimented. I cut my skull. They filled me with drugs. You don't know what pain even is sometimes. I have to hide myself in a closet. But would you be able to forgive? That's the questions we have to ask. They put a bucket of water. If you can drink it, drink it. If you can, you can. You will die. Those women could not make it because they were so weak. And more death. As far every single camp, single city have massive bodies everywhere. They couldn't even dig enough graves and to bury them. Dead by freezing. Dead by firing squad. And more death. As far as you looked at it. Every single building, every single shed have bodies. And then as women, we're killing them and then drag them to the graves. They put them in the wagons. And then they even check it that they're alive, and they introduce us to different kind of torture called the ovens. There's a Stutthof ovens, Auschwitz ovens, ovens for little children. And look at that, results of putting people in the ovens. The ash, human ash, as far as you could see. If you've been in Treblinka, if you walk on the ground, you feel like you're walking in a carpet. Then I ask people, pick it up, the ground. Hold it in your hand and look closer. What do you see? Human ash. Would you be able to forgive? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. Who could do something like that? Are we capable of doing this today? Let's ask ourselves. Let's be honest for once in our lifetime. Are we capable of doing this? Yes, we are. Bosnia, Uganda, all different places. Even down south near Mexico, people killing each other, they're torturing each other. And they're taking families, put them in a bed and they set them on fire.